Hi guys, and welcome to a TechENT special. It's a little bit of a first that we're doing this on video because this is something that we've done before. What we usually call a TechENT interview, and we sit down with someone from some part of the industry, in the tech industry or whoever that might be an expert in the industry, and we talk to them about certain topics or certain products that they've just launched. But this is the first time that we're doing it in a video format. And so if you have not come across our interviews just yet, do check out our website, techent.tv. You'll find some very interesting ones there. There are some new ones as well. Okay, and we're going to be uploading some of our older interviews that is done in podcast style because we had some issues with our server and we've lost some of them, but we're going to be uploading some. We're also going to upload the interviews on our podcast channel, Tech and Tonic, quite soon, so check that out. Some people also will be wondering why this is not a Tech and Tonic section instead of a Tech and instead it's a Tech and interview, and I'll explain that a little bit. Tech and Tonic for us is supposed to be a podcast channel, and that's why we put this as a video. Okay, so for this special, we are sitting down with, as you can see, Darwin, me, and Jivan. Like when on our podcast, we actually say that we're quite staple. We're like rice to Asians. Okay, but today we have Nicole Tan of Facebook. Yeah, so everyone knows what Facebook is, right? Obviously, it's the largest and most popular social media known to man so far, right? It's everyone uses Facebook except for China, of course. And they now also own Instagram and WhatsApp. They are the biggest social media channel, of course, right? And Nicole is the Facebook country director of Malaysia. So she helms the operation in the country, right? Nicole, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do in Facebook?
Hey, hi, my name is Nicole. I'm the country director for Facebook Malaysia. First of all, thank you for having me, and I hope you're all staying safe and home and sane. So what I do is I run the local operations, and I partner with businesses and stakeholders, and make sure that we're bringing the best of Facebook to the country and the best of the country to Facebook. That will be, I think, the simplest way to phrase it.
First things first, we are still in our, movement control order. And it's now day 20, what?
23 or 23, 24.
23 or 24, right? Yeah. So we've been stuck at home for more than 3 weeks now, and we still have a few more days to go, hopefully. And yeah, first thing that we want to know, how has this affected Facebook Malaysia office? At least were you guys at least prepared for this eventuality? And what's it like in these 4 weeks, in these 3 weeks? What's the situation for Facebook been like?
So we closed all offices globally since March 19, and in fact, Malaysia was a little bit closed since March 16, even ahead of the MCO. We have a small number of teams in infra, in ops, and in security that they need to come. They still need to come on site and to keep the services running. So as long as they're feeling well, they'll keep coming in, and we're taking a lot of precautions to make sure that these people are staying safe. I'm really proud of how the local team has adjusted and the teams across the company have adjusted. We've been able to come very quickly together and continue to do impactful work even when we're out of the office. And I'm very conscious of how people have different circumstances. Some people worry about the health of their loved ones. We all have family. We may have elderly or vulnerable within our family. And people are also taking care of their kids, taking care of their babies. So we're very conscious and empathetic to the circumstances of all the employees that we have, but everyone's been working from home.
So during this pandemic, I think social media has become one of the ways that people spread news. So we all know that we all know that a lot of people don't tune in to like news channels nowadays to tune into daily news globally. So what has been some of the things that Facebook has been doing to actually help with getting validated or verified sources of news?
So I think there are three areas that are really important. The first one is to make sure we're connecting people to credible information. And that's across all our apps, whether it's Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, or Instagram. So you may have seen on your Facebook and Instagram feed, there is now a information center that is right at the top. We also have educational pop-ups that connect people to information to the World Health Organization, as well as regional health authorities, and we put that right at the top. We've offered as many free ads to the World Health Organization, millions in ad credits to other health authorities as well, so that they can reach as many people with timely and accurate messages. So far, what we've seen, we've directed more than 1 billion people to resources from health authorities, including the WHO, and more than 100 million people have clicked through to learn more. On WhatsApp, we've launched the World Health Organization Health Alert on WhatsApp, and it's free to use. You just drop a note that says hi and you add it to the channel. It answers a lot of common questions people have about COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Besides looking at sort of like the local numbers, which we can get from a lot of local sites, some of us have family across the world, like myself, and I also want to see the numbers that's happening in, say, the UK or in other countries. And so that's been really helpful for me personally, the WhatsApp app. And the other area that we're looking at is donating 1 million to international fact-checking networks so that we can expand the presence of fact-checking organizations in WhatsApp and people can submit rumors that they find directly to fact-checkers. I think that's been quite effective in terms of we've seen 100 million messages have been sent by these organizations to WhatsApp users. And also, we connect government health organizations and UN health agencies to our developer partners to Messenger in the event that they want to also use Messenger to scale out their response to COVID-19. So that's on the first one, connecting people to credible information. And that's really across all our family of apps. The second thing is making sure we're limiting the spread of hoaxes and misinformation. This is as early as January, we've removed COVID-19 related misinformation, especially those that contribute physical harm, posts that make false claims about cures or treatments or the essential services or severity of the outbreak. All of that we remove, and we regularly update the claims that we remove so that, and that's based on guidance from WHO and other health authorities. There will be some claims that don't result in physical harm. There could be conspiracy theories, they could be, uh, rumors, and what we do there is we work with 55 fact-checking partners, and that's across 45 languages to debunk some of these claims. On Instagram, we remove COVID-19 accounts from recommendations. We remove them from Explore tab as well. And the other area is on WhatsApp. Yesterday, you might have seen the news that we currently clearly label when you receive a forwarded message. And if the message has a double arrow, which means that it's generally a forward message or a chain message, we only allow you to forward to one chat at a time. And that's really to reduce forwarded misinformation on these platforms.
Nicole,
Sorry.
you were mentioning fact checking networks on WhatsApp. How does that work exactly?
So what happens is you can send first two things. We're donating 1 million to International Fact Checking Network. So what people can do is if they're seeing rumors, they can actually submit these rumors to the fact checker organizations. And we've, over 100 million people have forwarded these organizations. So that increases the alert. We know that what are the misinformation that's being forwarded on WhatsApp. And then the second area is we limit the number of forwards that you can make. And we label the messages that have, a high number of forwards or a high number of chain messages.
You were mentioning on Instagram some of your efforts.
Yeah, on Instagram, we've removed COVID-19 accounts from recommendations. We've also removed some COVID-19 related content from Explore. We're also encouraging people to stay home. So if you've seen, we have a Duduk Rumah sticker So we're encouraging people to stay home. Um, and I think the third one, which I wanted to just share, is also prohibiting exploitative tactics on ads. And we've put in policies that ban ads for medical face masks, for hand sanitizers, for disinfecting wipes, as well as for COVID-19 test kits. We've seen ads for products that refer to coronavirus in a way that tends to create a panic, or they want to imply that the product can guarantee a cure. So these types of ads are not allowed on our platform, and we're also temporarily banning advertisements, commercial listings for medical face masks, hand sanitizers, surface disinfectant wipes, and COVID-19 testing kits. So this is really to, support our frontline health workers, making sure that people have the right information.
So we've all been exposed to fake news at some point or another. Sometimes we can be guilty of forwarding this fake news as well. So what are some of the things that we should take note of when it comes to uh fake news? Like, are there any guidelines we should follow for posting, or what we should not do on your platforms to not get flagged or banned?
I can share some tips on how you can make sure that the information you share is accurate and avoid sharing sort of any misinformation. Some quick tips is, first is don't rely just on the headline. Some headlines are written to be unbelievable, to sensationalize. It's best to read through the whole piece and really think critically around what is the piece or the article really trying to tell us, and also check the author's sources to confirm. The second thing is to look closely at the URL. Is this a trusted, reputable news organization? Make sure that it's not from an unfamiliar source. You can click through about as well to just find out a little bit about the news organization or the publisher in this case. The third one is to inspect photos carefully. So, you know, it is possible for people to manipulate or digitally alter some of these photos. So make sure that those photos are also coming from a trusted source. And I think what's really key is to look at other stories as well. If this is a credible piece of information and a piece of news, it's not going to sit in just one source. It will be run across, credible news organizations, and they will carry the same news. And that usually is a very strong indication that this is a trusted story. And lastly, there are some stories that are intentionally false. Some people write stories to maybe make a parody or a humor or satire. And so when you're looking at these stories, it's essential to think critically, to evaluate the stories. Is this something that's just made to make light of the situation, perhaps as a piece of satire, or is this something that you should forward or share? One of the things that I share with my own family and friends is, two things. One is, if you see a piece of news, report it. So on every single platform that we have, you are able to report right on the platform itself. So whether it's a Facebook post, you can report that this is spam, inappropriate, or false. And we really recommend people to report that news to us. The second thing is, I think, taking a step back, why do we share this news? The reason why we share this news is sometimes to send our family, our friends, our relatives, to let them know that we're thinking about them. So one way to think about it is, just before you hit that forward button, or before you forward that piece of news, maybe send a message that says, how are you? Or send a heart sticker, or let them know that you're thinking of them. I mean, people come from, as you say, it's unintentional. People come from the best intents. We want to show care. And this is a great time to check in on your friends and family.
Yeah, I think this is a very good tip for like those WhatsApp spammers, like the WhatsApp aunties, the boomer aunties on WhatsApp. Yeah, I think this is a very good tip. Um, so we also want to know more about what else is Facebook doing for COVID-19, as in the fight with COVID-19, because everyone's like focused on this fight on the global scale, right? On this COVID-19, is Facebook doing anything else other than on the news side, the fake news side and stuff like that? Is Facebook doing anything else?
Yeah, I think it's always incredible to see how the world has rallied together, and it's very inspiring, honestly. So we're doing a couple of things. One is we're supporting health and economic relief efforts through fund, resources, and technology. We've announced a few things. The first one being 10 million going to the United Nations Foundation and the World Health Organization Response Fund, 10 million to the CDC Foundation, so about 20 million to support global relief efforts. We've also put 25 million to support healthcare workers, especially those in the front lines. We know that there's an urgent need for protective gear. We've donated 720,000 masks, and we know that
Ooh.
a lot of people have done this as well. And I think the more, the better. The other thing is that small businesses is really at the heart of a lot of countries, and we're really committed to help them address these challenges. So last week, we announced a 100 million SMB grant, and this is going to be really for people to support their local businesses. This grant will allow almost up to 30,000 businesses across 30 countries that we operate, and that includes Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're an SME right now, go to facebook.com/smallbusinessgrants, sign up. We're going to be starting the grant process pretty soon. But at this stage, sign up so that we know that you're interested. But that's a really important initiative. While we wait for the grant to happen, we know that some businesses need education and tips. They're going through digital transformation.
Yep.
So we've put together a free business resource hub where we're helping, small businesses, large businesses understand what are the implications, how can they build resiliency. And on a local level, our teams continue to go out to support local businesses in terms of webinars, in terms of business insights, any sort of tips on even working remotely. So it's not just on sort of business front, but also we know that a lot of organizations, this is the first time that they're being forced to work remotely. So some of the learning we had as an organization, we're sharing that out publicly as well. I think I'll call out one really good initiative and a quick pivot by one of our clients. We work with StoreHub, which is a retail software, a B2B retail software and they really quickly pivoted within, I think, 2 days or 3 days.
Oh, wow.
They understood, they understood that, a big bulk of their businesses were FMB, and of course with the MCO, these FMB needed to find a way to deliver. So they pivoted very quickly to offer delivery through Beat Delivery. And I think these sort of stories and initiatives that we see in supporting these businesses are very inspiring. It really helps keep small FMB businesses still running despite the circumstances that they're in. And of course, allow Malaysians to still get their favorite food and restaurants without leaving their homes.
Okay.
The other thing we've seen is Stay Home and Learn is something that we've partnered with MDEC. So through their Usahawan program, we have hosted a series of Facebook Live sessions. I think this is really important, that there are people staying home and they could be students or SMEs or workers, they're confined. This is a great opportunity for them to upskill themselves as well. So we're offering free classes to our coaches in Usahawan. And we're also encouraging people to take the Blueprint Digital Marketing Associate certification. That's for free.
Okay. So you mentioned about this grant thing, right? Is anyone eligible, or do you have to be already on Facebook as a business, or can you, like, if you're aware of it now and you're not on Facebook and you just go on Facebook and sign up as a SME, right? Are you eligible to that grant, or?
So any SME can sign up right now, whether or not they are a Facebook advertiser. And then we are working through the grant process.
Okay, so that's at least some good news for some of the SMEs that are struggling out there. So let's move on to you a little bit. Okay, how has it been working from home? For you, what kind of tools have you been using so far?
I think like everybody else, everybody's had to set up very quickly wherever they are. So, your must-haves is a monitor, a laptop, smartphone, a good mouse. And I'm set up by the kitchen, which is, I don't know, it's not good and bad at the same time. It's easy for me to get snacks and it's easy for me to cook lunch. But at the same time, I feel like I'm eating a lot more than I should. So yeah, I think everyone's using your digital gadgets around you a lot more and making sure that, it works. So that's how I'm doing that. But also, I think I play music at the background. I think that's one benefit you have in doing working from home. You don't have to listen to your headphones with your colleagues.
Yeah, yeah.
And also just reminding myself to stand and to take breaks. I understand that I'm luckier than most that we have the privilege of having this set up.
Hmm.
So it's really important that we also take care of our health and make sure that we're not sitting in calls and like doing face to face for 9 hours straight.
Yeah, be active, right? So
Yeah,
what's your most used tech piece of tech or gadget during this whole MCO? Your favorite piece of tech that you've used?
my favorite piece of tech. Um, well, obviously right now, one of my favorite things is getting on calls with my friends on
Hmm.
messengers. You can turn on the face filters. So I mean, none of us are wearing makeup. None of us are getting, we're not wearing nice clothes, right? So it's
Yeah.
quite fun. Just turn on the face filters and then chat with your friends. Always a good laugh. And I think we need some positivism and lightheartedness in this day. So yeah, and in fact, that's one of the things I've noticed myself doing a lot more is definitely connecting with family and friends. You know, when we were working and we get so caught up, we kind of take it for granted that we'll see our family and friends at some point. And I think this whole situation has made me realize that you have to be very intentional. So one of the things that I feel that I've done a lot more is definitely having virtual dinner in my family because we can't go out and have hot pot together now. And the messenger with friends as well as doing watch parties or just sharing a lot more. The way I phrase it is that we want to be social but distant. So I think that's what we're all doing.
Okay. So you stay with your family, with your immediate family lah, obviously, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than all these video conferencing and things like that, what's the thing that you actually do at home, just to get your mind off this MCO thing? What's the thing that you've done most uh than ever before than you thought that you never had time to do at work?
Right, right. Probably playing the piano a lot
Oh,
more
okay.
because yeah, I'm not very good and I've always wanted to learn the piano. So of course when you're working and because you're not under pressure to practice, you end up skipping your practice quite a lot. But then now you're home, so you have no excuse. So yeah, I'm definitely practicing a lot more. And then I yeah, I think I mentioned like connecting with family and friends, doing that a lot more, and probably just going out to the garden and come back in.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, get some fresh air. Um, and I probably should exercise more than I do. My discipline's gone down. So
Yeah, because food is so accessible. It's just right beside you,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, that's the problem of setting up by the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
just
the
too
air is
easy.
fresher too. So it's nicer to be outside for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that is all the time we have for today. Thank you, Nicole, for coming into our video. Thank you for sitting down and having this interview. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video interview. First time that we're doing it. If you do like this sort of interview, do let us know in the comments. Do give us a thumbs up. And definitely thank you for everyone to spend time, just to look at this. Facebook is a free platform. Everyone can sign up for it. Okay. And in these trying times, I think Facebook is a very, very good way to connect with everyone, with a lot of people, with your friends and your family. And it's also a very good source of news. And if you've heard Nicole, she's Facebook's doing a lot of things to curb fake news. So you can be sure that you're getting some good stuff there. And of course, you still have to be careful, okay? But Facebook is good for you to keep in touch with your friends and your family. That's the whole point, right? In this MCO, when you can't see everybody, do like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Of course, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on all our social media, including Facebook. We are TechENT TV on all our Facebook, all our social media channels, and of course, If you need to read more tech and tech news and tech reviews, do visit our website. If you have not known yet, we started a podcast that goes out every Monday. We are also doing Tech and Tonic specials on Thursday, occasionally. Okay, not every Thursday. And we are on Spotify, we're on Anchor, we're on Breaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and every other podcasting channel that you can think of. If we're not there, do let us know and we'll try to get ourselves there. This has been me, Darwin, and Jeevan, and Nicole Tan of Facebook. Signing out. Bye bye.
See you. Bye. Stay home. Stay safe.
Yes, stay home, stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.